Good morning to all present here. Today I'm going to take a very small topic on how our mother tongue has influenced English language and how important it is to know how to pronounce words and pronunciation in English language, because English language has globally risen as the most important language in the world. So it has so much of importance, but at the same time we have been affected by our mother tongue. So first of all, I would like to talk about the difference of our mother tongue and English language. Both of them are entirely different. When you talk about Indian languages, especially languages like Malayalam and Hindi, they're all phonetic languages. So I would like to explain what you mean by phonetics first, and then what you mean by phonetic languages and unphonetic languages. So first of all, we go on to linguistics. Linguistics is the study of languages, and phonetics is a branch of languages which deals with human speech sounds. Now, what I try to tell you is, in English, human speech sounds are very, very important. The reason is, there is no correspondence with the letter and the sound. Very often, we have been taught in school that we have 26 alphabets in the English language. That is entirely wrong. It's like 26 letters in the English language. So what happens automatically is, we have 21 consonant sounds and 5 vowel sounds, but each letter has a different sound. So I would like to explain on that and then come back to Malayalam. Before I start on that, I would like to show you the phonetic alphabet chart, and this is called the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet, where you have all the 44 sounds. We'll come back to this later. This is what I'm trying to tell you. As I told you, there are 26 letters in the English alphabet, but each letter, I said each letter has a different sound. So I want to give you an example from the chart here. We have 4 words right here. Words, sing, music, vision, and sugar. Now, if you focus on the letter S in all the 4 words, you understand that S is pronounced in different ways. For example, in sing, it is sir. In music, it is z. In vision, it is zh. In sugar, it is sh. So the pronunciation of the S is different in all the 4 words. So it's very important that we have to learn the pronunciation of every sound or every letter to improve our language skills. Many a time what happens is, our mother tongue affects our language. That is called negative transfer or L1 interference. What happens is, normally in Malayalam, it's a phonetic language. Phonetic language means there is one-to-one correspondence in letter and the sound. The way you write, you speak, and the way you speak, you write. You don't have a different pronunciation. So it's easy to study Malayalam when compared to English. But what happens is, many a time we try to use the same rule that we have in Malayalam to learn the English language. For example, the spellings. Most of the time we go wrong in the English spelling because we try to pronounce every single letter. For example, words like honor, words like honest, words like budget, debt, receipt, buffet, and bouquet. These are the words. This is how we pronounce it in English. But what happens is, when you speak it in Malayalam, automatically you start pronouncing all the letters. We start saying honest, we start saying honor, we start saying budget, we start saying debt, we start saying receipt, we start saying buffet and bouquet. The reason is, in Malayalam what you write, you exactly pronounce it the same way. In English, you write something else and you pronounce it differently, and the spelling is entirely different. So as students, what you have to understand is, it's a deliberate attempt on your part to learn the special skill. Though the spelling must be different, pronunciation is different. So this is very important when you learn English language. It's not an easy job. It takes time. You have to be listening to people who speak pretty well, and you should be reading books, and you should be watching movies, and slowly you get over it. So in these words, these are very common errors that we make while speaking. And these are the common errors, as I told you, and we forget them as we speak. As I said, in words like honest, we always say honest, it's always honor, it is always debt. But the real pronunciation is honest. Okay, H is silent. There are silent letters. Though the letter is there, they're still silent. So you have words like honest, honor, debt, B is silent, buffet, okay, T is silent, budget, D is silent, receipt, okay, P is silent, and bouquet, okay, so T is silent. So the spelling is different, the pronunciation is different. In Malayalam, it's the other way around. If you go back to the previous slide, previous slide where I said that it's phonetic, there's a correspondence with letter and sound. Words like pa, okay, in pana and pada and pumaram and pili, it doesn't have a different pronunciation. You speak it and you write it in the same way, unlike you write it in English. Then you have these letters are present in the spelling but absent in pronunciation. This is something we should take care of very seriously when we start writing and learning English language. So it's not easy altogether, as people say it's easy to learn language. It's easy, but you have to take care of the little things which can enhance your language speaking. Now we have certain other words on the board, and they are like words like honor, color, flavor, offense, center, meter, and that's again about spelling. We're talking about the British spelling and the American spelling. There's a slight difference in the spelling and the pronunciation, the British and the American. So all that you see here, all of them have American spellings, and if you go to the next slide, you have the British spellings. So even in spelling is different. You have American spellings and British spellings. So what happens is naturally, as I told earlier, something called L1 interference. What is L1 interference? That is the influence of your mother tongue on English language. Since we are second language speakers, English is our second language, we need to take a lot of time and a lot of effort to learn them. So it starts very slowly. First we have to start learning with the International Phonetic Alphabet, and we have to start learning how to make the right words, how to make the pronunciation. So we need to have our own time, own pace. Most of the, now like colleges and universities all over the world are really working hard on how to improve language and how to make the pronunciation right and helping second language speakers. So for this session, I would like to conclude that our mother tongue is entirely different from English language, and influences of the mother tongue should not affect English language. So it's a deliberate attempt on your part to make sure that you learn English as a separate language, and it should not have an influence on your mother tongue. Either your mother tongue should have an influence on language. I would like to conclude, and we would like to meet you in another session dealing with how to produce phonetic speech sounds.